Hey, what's up everybody? Chad here, and welcome to the Home of the Money Minute. Today we're going to be talking about a couple of credit cards that I'm kind of excited to bring to you, but they're not the one that you probably expect from me. But before we get into that, I'm going to ask that you please hit the like button, please comment, please subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and hit the bell notification for new content as I put it out. Now, the three cards that I wanted to talk to you about are the types of cards that you normally don't expect given my other content, and these cards are balance transfer cards. Now, before you think that I fell and bumped my head, the fact of the matter is that we're not all in the same place, and some people have made their mistakes, like this guy. Some people have seen the light, like this guy. And some people are now really champions of responsible credit card habits, like this guy. There are those of us out here who have old debts, we're trying to pay them. There are those of us out there who are trying to make a change and trying to clean up credit and trying to figure out the best way to do it without it costing an arm and a leg, which credit cards are notorious for. But here's the thing. Sometimes when life happens, you may have to carry a balance, which goes in the face of rule number one, and every credit card person knows it in the community. That is rule number one: do not carry a balance. But should life go the wrong way on you, always revert to rule number two. Should you have to carry a balance, do not pay interest on it. Credit card companies make a ton of money. They make a ton of money on transaction fees and payment processing. Let them have that money. There's no reason to give them gimme money. I always call interest gimme money. So let's deny them their gimme money, because if you have to carry a balance, there's no reason to pay interest on it, especially if you catch it early and it's in line with your already responsible credit card practices, because sometimes things happen that you can't control. Multiple things may happen that you can't control. We just had a pandemic, an actual pandemic. No one saw that coming. At least I didn't see that coming. So what I'm going to present to you here is three cards that literally will not charge you interest until the year 2024. So that's all of the rest of 2022, should you apply for any of these cards in July, all the way into 2024. So the first card that I'm going to get into is a Discover It card. The Discover It card has a balance transfer 0% interest promotion that's going for 18 months, meaning that should you transfer a balance to them, you will not be responsible for the interest on said balance, given your on-time payments, until January of 2024. And as always, I know you're going to try to pay that off as soon as possible, because you definitely don't want to pay for 18 months. That's just silly. Now with that, there's a balance transfer fee of 3% or $5 minimum. So keep that in mind. A lot of balance transfers do involve a fee, because they are taking on a balance that they didn't make their money on the purchase, on the transaction fees, so they got to get it somehow. So that's fine. That much we can live with. Now also, the Discover It card is actually a popular cash back card. So after you pay off your balance transfer, who knows, you may want to slide it into rotation. By all means, that is totally a personal choice. Please choose wisely. The second card that I want to present is the US Bank Platinum Visa card. Now this card has a balance transfer 0 interest promotion for 20 months, meaning that you will not be responsible for interest if you apply in July and get approved in July until March of 2024. Once again, 0 interest until 2024. Now also, that card, US Bank, is just like Discover, is very reputable. It is a Visa card. And also, should you decide to take that out of the sock drawer and put it back into the rotation, it does offer cell phone protection, which is always a plus for me. I love cards that offer it, because you'd be surprised some that do, and the ones that don't, which make no sense to me, but cell phone protection is good, and it only has a $25 deductible. Now the third and final card that I want to present to you is the Citi Double Cash. The Citibank Double Cash card is actually sort of a popular card because it gives you 2% cash back in the form of Citi thank you points, Citi's proprietary currency, that you can cash out. Normally, when you make your purchases, you get 1% cash back, and then when you pay off said purchases, you get another 1% cash back. But that's not the capacity we're going to be using it for. What we're going to be taking advantage of is the 18 months of zero interest on balance transfers. Now, Citi also charges you 3% with a $5 minimum in order to transfer a balance to their card, but after you pay off your balance, I actually would suggest you put this in the rotation and see what it's like, because Citi cards are accepted, because this, unlike the US Bank Platinum Visa, is actually a World Elite MasterCard with other benefits that you can check out on mastercard.com, all their own, that you can double check with Citi and make sure that this card has. So it is the highest level MasterCard, which beats the World MasterCard. It's sort of akin to the Signature and Infinite Visa series. So it's kind of like that hierarchy. But I'll make another video and I'll explain that later. But here's the deal. With the Citi Double Cash, it's actually a good card. You want to, once again, get your balance transfer over, stick it in a sock drawer, pay it off as soon as possible, bring it out of rotation, and let me know how you like it. Now, with those three cards, one thing that I wanted to say once, and I didn't want to say 3 times, is that they were all 0 annual fee. You definitely don't want to balance transfer to a card that you then have to pay an annual fee on. You want to keep as many fees out of the loop as possible. So these cards you can keep in perpetuity as long as you want, as long as you keep them up and current, you're making your on-time payments. There's no reason not to keep them. Now, before I go further, I want to offer some cards as honorable mention cards. Now, all 3 of these cards that I'm going to mention, I'm not really going to go into a lot of detail, but one thing you need to know is that all of them have 0 interest for 15 months, and they're all available with cash balances, and all of them obviously have a minimum of 3%. Some of them have 5%, but here they are. First honorable mention card, the Wells Fargo Active Cash, which gives you 2% cash back on all purchases. Great card, solid card. Now, the second honorable mention card is a very popular card, and that's the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Super strong card, 1.5% on all purchases, 3% at drugstores and dining, and 5% if you book travel out of the Chase portal. Great card, it's a very popular card, part of the Chase trifecta that everyone is very well aware of. And the third honorable mention card is the brother to the Citi Double Cash, which is Citi Custom Cash. Citi Custom Cash allows you to get 5% on your unlimited spending categories that you use the card for, up to $500. So you can utilize it as maybe a gas card, maybe for one specific item that you spend close to $500 on a month, and that comes in pretty decent. So now you're probably wondering that if these are great cards, why weren't they included with the main ones? And the reason is because they have tangible sign-on bonuses that require spending. What we don't want to do is transfer a balance to a card that we then have to swipe. That defeats the whole purpose, because until you pay the balance transfer off, that purchase is gonna gain interest. In some cases, it may be applied as a promo interest, but we don't know what's gonna happen in the future, and we've already come to a point of transferring a balance, so there's no real reason to tempt fate. You don't wanna slide a card that you're using for a balance transfer. You wanna sock drawer it and then bring it out of rotation later. So now these cards have the sign-up bonuses, so that's why we wanna avoid them, to avoid the temptation. With all that being covered, it may be a question to you as to Why, if there's a balance involved, if there are balances involved, why are you suggesting I get another card? If I already have card balances, how can that possibly be an answer? The reason that that could be an answer is based on utilization. Okay, you get another hard inquiry, you get another card in order to balance transfer. I get it. The hard inquiry will dip your score for a little bit, but the return is that now you have another card with added credit limit, which will then lower your utilization in addition to the on-time payments you're going to be making to chop that debt away. And then ultimately, when you get back to the proper place of not carrying a balance, now you have a 0 annual fee card that's sitting there in good standing with a 0 balance. You have more credit. Your utilization has already been supercharged because now it's lower, and it's gotten progressively lower as you kept paying the balance. So this is a win for you. The only hit that you take initially is the hard inquiry, and then that falls off and you're good to go. You win. You take a slight little bump, but in the long run, you win, and that's what it's all about. So these are the cards I just want to bring to you. I want to give you some honorable mentions, want to give you a little advice and let you know that, hey, you know, we're out here, we're getting points, we're getting miles, we're doing travel, we're getting cash back, but I understand life happens. Now in the future, I want to do some beginner stuff for like points and miles, and I can't wait to bring that to you. But if you stay till the end of the video, I really appreciate it. Once again, please hit the comment button, please like, please subscribe, please tell somebody who may find this useful. You know what I mean? Hit that notification button because I would love for you to know when I put out new content, and I just appreciate you. And thank you for staying and watching the whole thing, and I'll catch you later.